Welcome back to Beyond the Film podcast. I'm your host, Meadow, and
how's it going?
How's it going? It's Rosie. Okay, couple things I want to mention. We have transitioned into fall.
Oh yeah,
we're getting the fall vibes over here where we live,
and over here we celebrate fall in fall.
Yeah,
we don't celebrate in August.
No. And we let September have its little glory summer days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then now it's starting to get fall vibes. Like, as soon as September 21st hit, it literally was like fall vibes instantly.
That's seasonal depression.
And we're not going to have that. So that's why we decorate the room so that we can like life. Okay? We love liking life. Yes, we do. And speaking of liking life, Spider-Man. Right.
I love that transition.
But no, seriously, yes. Today we are talking about Spider-Man 2012. 10 years.
10 years later.
10 years later.
Technically, The Amazing Spider-Man.
Correct. The Amazing Spider-Man 2012. 10 years later after Spider-Man 2002.
Mm-hmm.
You said Tobey was 30-something?
Yes, Andrew was, I wrote it down, 29.
29.
So still old.
Still old. And I'm just saying, like, Tobey's now, like,
10 years older.
40-something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. Wow.
And now Andrew's 40 in real life.
IRL.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so last episode when you were talking about how fans want a third
yeah.
in The Amazing Spider-Man. And I was like, oh, he's not about to, be doing all of that. But I'm like, yes, he may not be doing all that, but however, he could live a Spider-Man life that was kind of like the Peter Parker that we saw before. Like, maybe he found an MJ or something. I don't know. But
no, unless he changed his mind when they did the No Way Home tour or whatever. He was like, yeah, no, y'all should have wanted it back then. I'm not doing it now.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Womp womp.
Yeah.
Anyway, though, okay. Our fit checks. We're just like Peter Parker today.
We're just like skateboarding nerds.
I should get my glasses.
We're back!
I have my glasses now.
Because she thinks that people who wear glasses are nerdy.
I literally didn't say that. I told her no. Peter Parker was wearing glasses in the picture that he's wearing this outfit in that I wanted to recreate. So... Oh, crazy. Anyway, though, trying to emulate my Peter Parker vibes, I wanted to make glasses. This was directed by Mark Webb. Ha ha ha. Ironic. I don't know who that is, but his last name is Webb, so that's exactly my reaction when I wrote it down. I was like, right. And then, of course, our main actors, we have Andrew Garfield, Emma Stone, and then I don't know how to pronounce this man's name. Rhys Ifans. It's Rhys.
Is that supposed to be Dr. Connors?
Yeah, that's Dr. Connors. He was born in London. He had an accent.
He had an accent.
Yes, ma'am. He had an accent.
Okay.
So, jumping right into it. Splash. Okay?
Just like those lizards. In
the sewer. Nasty.
That's
how they come from.
That's how lizards sound?
Yep, because it was.
Are there even lizards in New York?
I don't know. Like, that's little random. Like literally,
that makes no sense.
So I'm thinking, like, maybe all of the pet lizards broke out because, like, maybe Big Lizard got these lizard pheromones that's going into the air.
He was like, it's like a new species.
But still, he was a lizard. Like, he was using lizard DNA. He wasn't like, it's a new species because lizard and human combined together, but like not new species as in he's using some random species, like it's a lizard. So yeah, I'm thinking he got big lizard energy, okay, and all the little lizards came slithering towards him because they can feel his energy in the air. Perhaps. I don't know. Because like why would they be in the wild coming towards him? It makes no sense. Anyway, though, yeah, so main differences that I saw. First of all, the like we have mentioned, the O2 Spider-Man intro was so long, but like this one was short and sweet. Like it was literally a minute, less than 2 minutes long, less than 90 seconds long. And then with them doing that, they also gave us like a sneak peek into Peter's childhood, because we didn't get that with Tobey's Spider-Man movie. And then the parents' death is really emphasized here. Like they have such an emphasis on it that it's like trying to give it the plot more emphasis, like not emphasis, but just like more gumption. I don't know the word exactly, but
you hit it right on the nail on the head.
Bam, bam, bam. But no, like they wanted more motive behind Peter's actions. Like before, it was kind of random. They're at this, like, why are they at Oscorp for O2 Spider-Man? It's like, for what reason? Like, what reason were they there? Like, just for a field trip? But in this movie,
with the spider, yeah, for a field trip.
Yeah, like I know it was for a field trip.
Sorry,
but just like yeah.
I'm trying to remember as you're saying all these things, so I'm a little behind.
I was like, hold on. But no, yes, but for this one, it's like very intentional. They're like, oh, he's going here because he needs to find out answers about his daddy's death. This, that, and the third. And then like there's so much secrecy behind the death here versus like with Tobey's. They're all Peter. But no, with Tobey's, yes, like there wasn't really anything talked about. Like they just like, we just knew that he didn't have parents. Did they even say how he died? I mean, how they died? Like, I think it was a car crash for them or something. Yeah, I don't even know why. But and then also the research that they kind of showed briefly in the scene where like the office was trash, it was like a spider. And as we find out,
yep.
Richard, he bred the spiders and stuff. Full circle moment for Peter. He got bit by the spiders that his daddy created. Crazy.
It's definitely a nice flowing storyline where like if someone who doesn't know the story can catch along and like follow through.
And like, no, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say we should also note like this. Didn't this come out at the same time as Iron Man? 2012. When did Iron Man come out?
2008.
Okay, but even better, like it's important to know like Marvel has already like experimented and did trial and error with like what styles they want to do and how they want to make their films. And like this movie is a great example of the concept and like the bullet points and stuff of how they want to go about the storyline.
Agreed. Yes, you did a great job. Like you said, hit the nail right on the head. Okay, so next thing I want to hit on is that the reasons that Peter get hit bit in the movies is completely different. For for Tobey's, it was just random that the spider bit him.
He was taking pictures of MJ.
Minded his business, and then they
everything connects to MJ though. Everything is her fault,
and I touch on that as well. So hold on,
okay.
But yes, with what's his face?
Peter 3?
I don't even remember the order that they had. Stop. This is a spoiler.
No, because all the trailers that are out now have all of them in.
Oh, okay.
Peter 1 is Tom. Peter 2 is Tobey. Peter 3 is Andrew.
Okay. Right. Peter 3. Yes, his is much more intentional. But what I wanted to touch on about the MJs, the reason that Peter get bit are completely different. Like I had said, both of the Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire's, they both had an MJ, and it seems like the parents' death is not as important. But then this Peter, he has a Gwen, and so the parents' death like has a bigger emphasis. And then if you compare it to Miles as well, Miles has a Gwen, and he's trying to prevent his parents' death too. I thought that was kind of interesting. What does Gwen have to do with parents dying?
You are
Stirring the pot. I have some questions, bro.
Yeah. Wow. Like, yeah, connecting it to the Spider-Verse too. Write that down. Write that down.
Because like we were talking about all of the different types of Spider-Man comics that there are, and I was really thinking about that when I was watching this. Like I had that in my brain going into watching this movie, because like before I didn't understand. I'm just like, why are they making all these different Spider-Man movies? Like Spider-Man is Spider-Man, but it's like, yes, Spider-Man is Spider-Man, but also there are so many different Spider-Man comics that they want to create in the movie verse. So like this is a completely different storyline and side plot, and so all the things are important. So if Gwen got something to do with parents dying, like, well, maybe, but
I mean, and Gwen is also like a different character. Like she is not like MJ. Their personality traits and everything, their connection to Peter are completely different.
Because I was also thinking, I'm like, wow, Gwen is smart. MJ on brand once again. I'm not gonna say MJ is not smart. But then Zendaya's MJ, she's cool. That's different.
Yeah, but I also
dark and mysterious.
I also feel like one with Zendaya, it's like the times, but also with, like the actor too. Like I don't think Zendaya would play a character like who was the actress in the first one?
I don't know her name.
Well, yeah, I don't think Zendaya would like play a character like that, and also being she wasn't that huge back. She was huge, but not that huge. Never mind. Because at a certain point with actors, like famous wise, you stop auditioning. People just offer you a role and you say yes or no. So like now I feel like Zendaya is at the point where she could just say yes or no to a role. Yeah. But she did this like right after Disney, so I don't know if that was the case.
Really? Dang, this been out for
this is
a long time.
Her first movie. Her first movies that she did.
Really?
Outside of Disney, yeah. She did a movie for Disney, but yeah, outside of Disney, this was her first movie.
That's crazy. Go her. Wow. I did not realize that the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies have been out for that long.
Right before, what's that thing called? Civil War? Or right after Civil War?
That's right. That's right. Crazy. Another difference in between the two Spider-Mans is that Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is much more, well, it's not Spider-Man, but Peter Parker is much more charismatic.
Yes.
Like, he had the charisma, like, going already for him. And it's, like, not even with Gwen, but it's, like, because them talking, like, they were cute little quirky relationship. But, like, him talking with Flash and, like, standing up for himself, he was doing all those things before he had the serum. The bite from the spider. And even after Tobey's Peter Parker did get that, like, it wasn't like he was standing up for himself. He was still just more quieter and reserved. And I feel like he comes out of his shell more as he becomes more of an adult and as we see that through the other movies.
I was just going to say that.
And what I wanted to say earlier before we had mentioned a point that you had brought up, the pace of this movie. The pace of the movie completely different. Like, where we stayed in the same grade.
I kind of felt like, I also felt like this movie was kind of long too.
I mean, yes, the movie was long.
I was like, where is this big action scene? Like, I know it's coming, but like, damn.
Even when I was going through my notes, I'm just like, dang, bro. Like,
yeah, they don't graduate till the next movie with the Amazing Spider-Man.
And I think like it's in the beginning or so. So I'm guessing right. So Peter Parker is always a senior. Like it always is his senior year when we start these movies. So okay, that makes sense.
Except for Tom,
he was a junior. Okay, interesting. But the next thing is that the transitions were so much more dramatic here. Like when, because we talked about how they touched on the Spidey sense and how the Spidey sense was emphasized and like we were seeing things slow down. But for here, I feel like the transition period between becoming like just being a regular person versus becoming, with the spider DNA. Also, they didn't like thirst trap Andrew Garfield here. Like they thirst trapped Tobey a little bit. They had him with his shirt off, like kind of flexing his muscles, like, oh my goodness, I'm muscular now and I don't need my glasses. But for Andrew's, like, he stayed with his clothes on at all times.
I feel like that's the times, and also back to like the actor of the sense too.
He did have his shirt off in that one scene where she was like cleaning off his cuts, but like that wasn't the same.
Yeah, but like I even wrote down too, like Andrew was really skinny in this.
Mm-hmm.
Like for most like oh my god. For most superhero movies, they usually make the actor like go to the gym and get fit and like put on muscle and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. This man is really skinny, and I feel like I want to say I'm just assuming. I feel like with an actor like Andrew, like he gets very into character. I feel like he put on like the nerdy, geeky persona of Peter Parker.
Yeah, because like he didn't have an ego switch. Like he already had an ego established here. But as for Tobey's, he didn't really have much.
Changed like its personality too. The serum.
We have telepathy. Anyway, though, right, so
keep that in. That would be a great TikTok clip. Okay, continue.
Okay, and the last thing that I wanted to mention, a little bit sad, but Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man just stopped looking for Ben's killer. Like there was no vengeance for him, and like it's so sad because in that voicemail that Uncle Ben left him, he was like, I know so many things in your life are unresolved. And it's like just like the death of his parents. Like sadness.
Mm-hmm. But I also, jumping a little in like ahead in the movie, I definitely saw a switch when he got roasted by Gwen's father.
No, literally, I write that down. So hold on, I'm gonna mention that.
Okay.
But yes, speaking on their parents' death, I want to talk about that. So
there's R.I.P.
All the Peters.
Oh, that's not who I was talking about.
Oh, who was you talking about?
Gwen.
Oh, right, yeah. R.I.P.
I ain't got a daddy. You ain't having a daddy either.
Like, come on now. He said that was messed up. Anyway, though, so first thing I want to say is that we can see their age much more clearly here when we see Peter getting kissed goodbye by his dad and stuff. His dad had a full head of gray hair, like,
but also he's a scientist
and keeping secrets and stressed out. Yeah. Like, but still, we can see like the age on them a little bit more here.
I will say, before you continue though, I feel like there's always an emphasis on Peter's dad. Like he's the only important figure here. Like he was a single dad or something like that. But he has a whole mother. Like she's never mentioned the fact that she died. Never mentioned like him missing this mother figure. Like it's always like the male aspect. He gets a name, Richard. What's his mom's name?
Nancy.
Oh,
yeah, they saw it in the newspaper.
See, I
Nancy or Mary, one of those two.
See,
but
you don't.
I definitely know what you mean. I understand what you mean, and I feel like, yes, they do always put an emphasis on like father figure problems in the Marvel movies, and I think that is just kind of like male sexist perspective. Yeah, like I'm a man and this is like, the life that I live, and these are stories that I can more relate to. Like
my mama died and I don't care.
I think it's more so in this movie in particular is that like mother figures are more easily replaceable. I feel like that is the
mama died and I
don't care. Dang, that's so messed up. Oh dang, because like Aunt May is there and she's just like,
and like Uncle Ben's there too, but he ain't enough.
No, he's not daddy. Can't.
I will say though, Andrew's Peter Parker does acknowledge like that Ben is a father figure right away.
Yeah, like when they were right after he had discovered the briefcase, he was like, "You're a good dad." Mm-hmm. He was blushing. He was like, "Thanks, Peter." Like, love you, Bookie. And then, secondly, Mama was super duper sad when she was kissing Peter goodbye. Like, she knew they were about to die.
Also, why did she have to leave? Like, why? You should have just kept it from your wife.
No, literally, because, like, so that goes into more, like, who is she? Like, does she have an occupation? Like, is she with the scientist? And he's like, you know, F this, like, if I'm going anywhere, my coming with me.
Like, she has to be the love of his life. They never keep secrets from each other. Like, that relationship is important. Like, especially, he wasn't that young to not remember his parents and, like, their relationship with each other. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a huge impact on how you view relationships in the world.
Yeah.
Like, and then I will say though, backing up, mm-hmm. the scene where they're playing hide and seek, and his father comes in and like starts taking stuff from the room and stuff like mm-hmm. that. There was no words exchanged. Like, there was nothing said during that scene. Nothing was said until they left out the door.
The only thing that was said was Peter calling out Dad. Mm-hmm. That was the only thing, because Dad came in there and he was just like, "Oh." Because, I mean, they said that he was secretive, and Peter was like, yeah, I know he was secretive, so maybe he wasn't a man of many words. He never talked to me. He never said a word, like, literally
we
nothing.
Played hide and seek, so he didn't have to come and find me and talk to me.
I'm surprised he even came running when I was calling his name that time. That's wild, bro. You're crazy. Secondly, mm-hmm. back to finding the briefcase. Aunt May and Uncle Ben, they knew more information they were leading on, because when he was showing them the picture, like, who is this man in the picture? Uncle Ben was avoiding. He's like, oh, this is someone that your dad worked with.
You can't tell me they didn't go through that briefcase.
Well, yes, I think that they went through the briefcase, but they definitely didn't find what Peter found.
For sure.
That part was kept there. But, yeah. And then Aunt May, he's looking at her for answers, and she's just behind the counter like,
don't look at me.
No, literally. She's
this like, your brother.
Put that away. Go do something else. And right. Then when he walks away, she's like, I'm like, okay. So y'all are keeping secrets. So this is a whole secretive family. Where y'all think Peter and his daddy is getting it from? Y'all.
So this is Ben's brother in these movies, right? And Andrew and Tobey's.
I think so.
So because
I think that there's like May Parker, Ben Parker.
Well, married, yeah,
right. But still, like, and then last name is Parker, not the mama's last name.
No, I just meant like not May's brother.
Oh.
Anyways, my whole point was, so if they're Ben's brother, then does that mean in Tom's that it's Aunt May's brother? Or was she married and he died?
That too. But I don't think that she was married. I feel like she wasn't married.
Me too.
Maybe just like
just single.
Hot single aunt.
Yeah. But we'll get there.
We will.
Just thought.
Just a thought. Okay. So secondly, when Peter confronts Dr. Connor at his home, little bit there.
What are we talking about again?
We're talking about the parents' death.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So just hang on with me. Okay. He confronts him there. And then Dr. Connor is talking about the spiders were bred and then everything changed and that they worked for Oscorp. Mm-hmm. And so this has me wondering, like from the last movie, the government was involved with Oscorp. Does that mean that the government was involved in their death?
Oh.
Because, like, what if...
In the last movie, probably.
No, I'm talking about for this movie. Was the government involved in Peter's parents' death? Hear me out. Because they found a way to do the spiders, right? They were going to change everything. They were going to
sneeze.
Oh.
It went away.
And so, like, yeah.
I I want to say no, because one thing I mentally noted was like this movie didn't have like the two main things that it usually has, the government and daddy issues. It just had daddy issues. The government's not in here at all. They have like the police, which is kind of like.
I mean, like, no, they're not there explicitly, but that's why I mentioned the other movie, because the government was involved in Oscorp in the other movie. Just because we don't see it here doesn't mean that they're not involved.
But I think they're involved in that movie for different reasons. Like in this movie, the main core whatever with Oscorp is because Norman's dying. They're making the serum because Norman's dying, not because the government wants to make something for them or they want to sell something involving the government or using the government's money.
Correct.
That's why I'm saying no.
But still, it could be a part of a government agency.
I mean, technically, but I don't think it's that serious. I think Norman put the hit out on Homeboy.
Yeah, but like, why would Norman specifically? That's what I'm saying though.
Because like how he was peer pressuring Connors. Like, you need to start human testing. Like, you need to hurry this up. Like, we need to keep going. Like, you can be replaced just like Parker. You remember what happened to Parker? Like, he was threatening him.
I know. That's why I was also going to say that, like, it seemed... But, yes, I was going to say that it seemed like Oscorp was involved in the death in some kind of way. And, like, perhaps they had some kind of a government tie because they said that it was going to change everything. Like, they said that this was going to bring cures to people and, like, you know, no more diseases and things like that. So the government has a reason to they want to keep that money back going. They need to keep people sick.
I think it's
deep conspiracy. But even besides that reason, what you brought up about the other Dr. Man saying, like, hey, you can be replaced just like Peter's daddy, he also said he also said something that implicated Dr. Connors as well. He was like, oh, you know,
like he knew it was happening.
Yeah, he knew what was happening, but like also that he was kind of involved in some kind of way. And we can bring that up some more when we talk about the end credit scene.
Yeah, I feel like it's a cover up. Like, it's what
absolutely
for Norman, it's a cover up. Like, it's what you tell your workers and like the public. This is what we're making it for, so it's all good. But really, it was a personal inside thing. I feel like it's more Norman Osborn associated instead of Oscorp. I think Oscorp is just like the sticker on the wall.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just involving Norman. Also, before like watching it this time, like the other times I've watched it, I did not know who that old creepily wrinkled man was. I did not know that was Norman. I was like, why is his daddy dying so important? Like, who is this man?
They don't show that him in this one, did they?
In the next one.
That's what I thought. I was like, no, I'm not tripping. Because I was expecting that, yes. When they mentioned that, I was like, oh, that makes so much sense for who that is. And then I was expecting to see him. And
I was like, why did it... Is his name Harry in here too?
I think so.
Okay, I was like, why did this man... Like, how is this your best friend? He came out of nowhere. Like, why is this important to the storyline? Like, I'm so confused right now.
I'm excited to watch the second one. I haven't seen that one in a long time because I completely forgot that he was even in there.
The world hates it. They don't like the second one.
Dang.
Well, I think they like it now because after No Way Home, you know, all the nostalgia, whatever, fake fans.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But I like the Spider-Mans.
I did too.
Crazy.
Oh, I meant to mention back when you were talking about Andrew's charisma, his Riz. Yeah, I put Andrew's Riz is better than Tobey's because you brought up Tobey's last time. And I was like, alright.
I mean, yeah, like he had a little bit. It wasn't that much, but
okay. But Andrew and Gwen in those scenes,
like hot and spicy. I'm like, dang, bro,
man,
like this is crazy.
Please, like it would work on me. Like
he's like, hot Spider Boy. What you just call me? Like,
let's swing away together.
Crazy.
Like, I'm yours. Like, stop.
Take me in your eyes.
You don't have to say anymore.
So you actually had me at your eyes.
Yeah.
That's all I needed. Thank you so much. I will be retiring now. Okay, now let's get into the actual plots of this movie.
Right.
Okay, so when Peter walks into the Oscorp building, bro, their security freaking sucks. Why did no one check his ID? Like, when the real Guevara man got there,
I was like, yeah, what was his name? Ricardo?
I think so, yeah. When words when the real Ricardo had got there,
Ricardo, please.
Yo, like, just tell them Ricardo's down here, and I'm like, they not checking nobody ID. Like, security is terrible.
Does this white man, tall, skinny white man, look like a Ricardo to you?
He's talking about some gracias, de nada. And she just gonna play into it. Okay, girl. She's like, I don't get paid enough to investigate.
Honestly, girl, same.
I just put the name tags out here. You gotta pick it up.
Pick whichever one your name. Get out my face.
And she said, "Are you having trouble finding yourself?" But she didn't even give him time to look, though. I didn't want to say that, though. She like said it instantly. I'm like, dang, girl, give him time to look. Anyway, though, I don't think that there was really anything significant in between, like, the conversations he was having with Gwen. Like,
just cute little flirty banter.
You know, whatever. So, yes. They gave us
nice and comfy this episode.
We are real nice and comfy this episode.
My long legs all the way up. Anyways,
yes, there is a few different foreshadowing situations here. The first one that I had noticed is that there was a machine that was making webs, and there was little capsules of them.
Never mind. I was like, yep, I wrote that down. No, I didn't.
There were little capsules of them on the table before he went into the room that had all the spiders, and he had peeped those. Like, we saw him looking at it, and they directed our gaze towards that as well. It's like, oh, okay, foreshadowing that he's gonna be using their webs. That's cute or whatever. And then after I would want to mention the other foreshadowing one before I proceed. The other thing that was foreshadowing was the Denali device. When they walked past the Denali device.
Finish before I say that's what I wrote down.
When they walked past the Denali device, and they were talking about how, like, oh, you know, it can be in the wrong hands, and biological warfare.
Which is crazy, because if they said that stuff, why would you keep it around? Like, if you're not allowed to use it, if you know it's bad,
like, someone could just break in and steal it. Because obviously the security sucks.
Yeah. Imagine like, they got rid of the machine. Movie over.
Movie freaking over. What is he gonna do? Go stick everybody one
individually?
By one? Yeah. No. Dude is a super villain. Talking about, oh, we're gonna start with the veterans at the freaking. They said it was gonna be a flu shot. They were ready to do human trials to save Norman Osborn.
Oh, homeboy.
What? Yes, I didn't get his name.
Doctor
something.
I wrote it down. So I was like, he's a doctor?
No, literally.
What? Keep talking. This is gonna take a while.
But yeah, just that he was willing to say that it was just a flu shot.
Dr. Rotha
is a super villain, wanting to just put this secret stuff into the flu shot.
How much is he getting paid?
Obviously, a lot.
Keep pushing that hard, and like to be calling the shots too. Like, okay, I'm shutting fired. You down. Yep.
Like, oh,
if this was
type stuff,
if this was the other Norman Osborn, homeboy would be dead. I'm fired. You're dead.
Fired. Actually, from life. Kiss your honey goodnight forever. Anyway, though, imagine though a bunch of sick, mentally ill people, not saying that everybody at that place would be mentally ill, but like people with like PTSD suffering and running around with a lizard in them.
They turn into lizards.
And like Norman's already going, not Norman, but Dr. Connor's already going crazy, and he didn't have that much PTSD, I guess, from however he lost his arm.
I was like, yeah, was he in the army or something?
I don't know.
I think he was born that way.
Maybe. Well, like, he was looking at it like reminiscent, like his arm used to be there. Because it doesn't look like it was a birth defect. Like, it looked like it was an arm and it had to get amputated.
He was giving very much like when he was in the sewers, he's giving very much I got bullied as a kid vibes. I got bullied and I'm getting my revenge.
No, look, everybody needs to be equal. Okay.
All right, very trauma.
Much so. Not cool kid vibes. And not in the kind of cool kid you think. Just hates everybody, obviously. After he gets his powers down, and like once his Spidey thing starts messing with him on the train, if you notice, like on the skateboard, it flashes a spider symbol. Like when the piercing noises are being made, it flashes a spider symbol. Let me see if it popped up on my iPad yet, because I took a picture.
Okay. I was like, yeah, definitely insert it too. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, it's not on here. It's on my phone though, wherever it is. But don't worry,
it'll be put here. It right on the screen. And if she doesn't, yell at her in the comments.
Hold me accountable. Anyway, though, and it was also some spiders on the webs like flashing when the piercing noise was being made. So they were just like,
you were looking at everything.
Just was noticing. I watched it on my laptop this time, so I was like up closer. And I was able to see things. I was
maybe I should start watching on my phone then. I was watching. I was just paying like, damn, his skateboard broke in half. Damn, her shirt came off. That's what I was thinking.
And like, I was wondering, like, is this man the lady's like partners?
Why are you so offended?
No, for real. And this, like, you started messing with him first. Did you think that he wasn't gonna retaliate? Like, bro, what's going on?
Just a small little bit. But when he was trying to save that girl from her boyfriend in the alley, and he was up there choking her and stuff like that, and then she snitched. Yeah. She's like, "Hey, this man's weird. Come get him, girl. Weren't you just like your boyfriend just choking you out? What are you talking about?"
That's her. That's her love. That's my face. That's how she like it. Secondly, when Peter, Spider is in his brain now, I'm guessing giving him all the smart brain juices that he needed to complete his smarticle particles.
Also, can we talk about how gross the scene was of him, like,
pulling the thing?
Pulling the web
why was the web embedded into his skin, bro? I didn't even know if he wants to talk about that, so I didn't even put it down. I was like, oh my goodness.
And there's spiders, right?
I'm like, oh my goodness. Cringe to the max. But okay, so yes, Peter's already smart, and I'm thinking that the spider bite also gave him like more smarticle particles, like help him connect some dots somewhere. Or perhaps he was just hyper fixated on the information once he saw the spiders inside of the lab and then had the file from his dad. Either way, he figured out this equation. What was his goal given the equation to Dr. Connor? Like,
I literally wrote down he gave away the secret Krabby Patty formula.
Like, bro, like literally, what was your goal? I think he just wanted to go around and find out.
No, he wanted a connection with his father. He found someone who helped or played a role in like the secret side of his father that Uncle Ben can't answer, that Aunt May can't answer. So he felt like he could trust him because
he's the only one getting answered. But obviously, he didn't trust him all the way because he didn't tell him that his dad had a secret file hidden somewhere. He was just like, because when Dr. Connor was like, how did you figure this out? He was just like, oh, it came from my head.
You can't give him everything. This is still a stranger man. Like, you gotta...
This is still a stranger man.
You gotta tiptoe around it. Like, you gotta test the man. Yeah.
He tested him with too much.
Well, yeah, he does acknowledge, though, towards the end, like, should have never gave him that formula.
The secret Krabby Patty formula. He's out of messed up, man.
Big time. But I will say a difference that I did notice between this movie and Tobey's is the huge emphasis on how smart Peter Parker is.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I feel like we know Tobey's smart because Norman says, like, oh, you're such a bright kid. Yeah. Like, the encouragement comes from Norman. But, like, in this movie, we see it firsthand. Of like, Peter Parker
being... Peter sewing.
Yeah.
We see him figuring out the equations, like, doing the actual stuff.
when they were talking about valedictorian or whatever. I'm number 1 in the class. You sure about that?
Second in the class.
Also, emphasis on how smart Gwen is.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, the love interest has a knowledge here, unlike the last one. Crickets. Anyway, though, but he gets so engulfed into this connection with his father that he forgets to pick up Aunt May.
Hyperfixation.
And Uncle Ben gets upset, and they have this whole little tussle. And like, while
he died,
and so hold on. Even before we get into that, we love talking about a dead Uncle Ben. See, this is why I said that. Speaking of love and life, here we are, Spider-Man. Oh, they love killing. So gets so engulfed in this father relationship he's trying to build with, scientist man. Comes back home, Ben is screaming at him like a daddy. He like, you talk about my daddy in a time where I am more than my daddy right now? How dare you? How dare you?
You made my wife walk in the dark alone in New York City? This ain't your aunt, this my wife.
He's like, I don't care about your wife, I care about my daddy.
I do want to talk about like the difference between Uncle Ben's reaction and Aunt May's reaction. Like, is she like, what is the motive behind her reaction? Like, is she just
or like having to walk alone?
No, like being so chill about it. Like, is she just a nonchalant person? Does she not want an argument to start up? Is she trying to protect Peter's feelings? Like, does she know? Like, she trying to like tiptoe around Peter's feelings?
I feel like it's more so that she is more nonchalant.
Okay.
And because she's just like, I'm a grown woman. I don't like need that. I don't need my nephew to come and protect me from the streets of New York where I've been living my whole life.
Period. Because she got it like that.
She do. She obviously she work at night.
Step up
on Aunt May.
See what happened.
Okay, should have been Aunt May on the streets out there with that gunman. He would have been walking away.
So, such a stupid scene.
We'll get into it. Anyway, though, because we're getting into it right now. The main point that I want to get into is that Ben is stubborn.
An idiot.
And his stubbornness gets him killed. Because Aunt May is like, just let him cool off. Just stay here with me. Walks right out. Don't come back.
Don't come back.
He should have stayed.
He should have listened. I will say, I feel like for him dying, I feel like the person we can blame is him.
Yeah.
Because why, if you see a gunman and he drops his gun on the ground, why would you jump to grab a loaded gun
from a man who's desperate to get away?
Like, who are you being a hero for?
And then you're talking about how dangerous the streets of New York are.
Right. Like, there's
your wife, and it's like
so many other options he could have took there. Like, you could have tackled the man when his gun was on the floor. Like, why are you going, like
literally, why go for the gun? Or you could have just, like, let him go. But your stubbornness,
call the cops,
thinking that you are
all big bag and tough. You ain't as young as you used to be, Uncle Ben.
And it's like, even if you were, why would you be rustling? You wouldn't be rustling and tussling for a gun back in your day, sir. Like, what's going on here? Please chill out. I was like, yeah, he's too brave for his own good, and that his stubbornness got him killed, and that this is once again the butterfly effect. Okay?
Yeah.
Alright. Once again, that's it.
Talk in a New York accent.
New Yorkers. Bro,
they're gonna attack us.
I have not heard a New York accent. Well, no. When I was in New York last year, I did hear a New York accent only from one lady inside of the hotel that was working, and it was like a Latina New York accent too. And I was like, and she was like all in the suit, and like, I'm like, period,
period, big
say
boss lady.
Else.
Yeah,
I want to hear you.
Keep talking.
Let's have a conversation. Oh, Joe, that's silly. Okay, but yes, once he gets on his vendetta and he's like, okay, I'm trying to find the man that killed my uncle. Dude literally picks some random dude in some random alley with the girl.
Looks kind of like
I guess, but like,
because he has the picture.
I know he had the sketch of the thing, right? But like, he's just walking.
A good sketch.
He just walking, and then he just goes into this alley. It's not like he was following the man.
I mean, but she was also like screaming, like something. Why are you talking to that man? Blah, 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 blah,
and it was dark, and it's like he didn't know.
And
that
he
was
choking her.
Still, I mean, yes, I'm glad that he intervened. I'm saying
I'm not, because she's a snitch.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Snitches do not deserve to get saved.
Snitches get stitches, and that's what.
That's what she deserved. She should have got beat. Obviously, she was getting beat for a reason. Yeah, you're
that's
crazy.
Not what I said. I stopped myself.
I stopped myself.
I'm not trying to get canceled, please.
But
they gonna bring this up in like 5 years.
Like, yeah, see, she does it. So she don't believe women.
I have to sit down and apologize for a freaking fiction movie.
Bro, you are silly. I'm sorry to that character. I didn't know that she was gonna be important in the plot.
I'm gonna take a little break from the internet right now and work on myself and become a better person. Bro, and like work with women's shelters and like not be work with women anymore and be more educated. Knowledge myself, and I'm donating all the proceeds from this video to my local women's shelter.
Like, why you gotta put that in the video that you donated?
There's no ads in this video, so you know I'm for real.
Right. Anyway, so when we're getting to dinner, like Peter gets invited for Branzino.
One.
Tell me.
That's insane.
Yeah, wild.
Meeting the parents the first time you're hanging out?
Like, bro, that's crazy.
And your father, the cop?
Gwen is something else. Gwen's straightforward.
Not even the parents. She got 3 brothers. They all there too. It's a whole family occasion.
There was 3 of them?
There was 3 of them. She's the only girl. And I think she's the oldest. She looked like the oldest.
No, I just was saying I didn't know there was 3 brothers.
Yeah.
I thought it was just 3 of them all together.
No.
I did not remember the 3rd brother.
They got 4 kids, 3 brothers, and Gwen. I'm pretty sure Gwen's oldest. She looks.
Dang, mama, 1 with 4 kids. Tragic.
I mean, 1's about to graduate, so.
Still.
Kick her out.
Can't afford you, girl. No, she probably getting that good life insurance.
He a cop.
He the sergeant.
Oh, she said. Except for life.
Except for.
Anyways, but I do think because her father is a sergeant, it's like, no, this is the only way I can date and hang out with a boy.
Right.
Is if they come to dinner.
Right. And then she talking about, did you bring a suit?
You didn't tell
him that it was a black tie affair.
Yes, because all families sit around the table in a suit and formal wear to have dinner.
Like, girl, I was about to go eat spaghetti and meatloaf for dinner, not Branzino with the fish head still attached. Girl, I don't know what you're talking about.
Help Peter with his fish.
What? Okay, girl. I bet she cooked in that sweater too. That's what they do. She got the vibes down. Period. Housewife, do your thing.
But yeah, he got chewed out at that dinner.
Literally, bro. And it's like, first of all, I wanted to mention that, like, it seems like the police's presence here is, like, more based on pride. Like, they're like, oh, you know, he's a criminal. Before, like, we even got to the dinner when he had dropped those criminals off on the doorstep of the police department. And he's like, oh, he's a vigilante and this
warrant out for Spider-Man's arrest.
Yeah, and it's just like for
catching the bad guys for you.
And it's like, okay, I understand from some point of view you're harassing, you know, the citizens, and it's like, okay,
but those citizens are harassing other people.
Correct. And then the biggest thing that he had him at, though, was like, it's like he's going after some personal vendetta because he's only going after people who look alike.
Mm-hmm. He also did say
they could have said he was racist.
He also did say, like, no, he's arresting criminals that we were using to get to the bigger top criminals.
Like, were you really? If I wanted a car thief off of the streets,
I would have got him. Yeah.
Then why wasn't he? But he was like picking up a
and they all look the same.
It was a pretty exclusive robbery that he was pulling. Like, he was going to a valet lot, like, with nice clean cars. Like, he wasn't trying to do it in a messy way. He got it with the lock. So it is feasible that he was, you know, someone in a higher car Grand Theft Auto scheme.
I did say though, like, him as a cop and like the cops in the scene are very similar. Like their pride and their ego, like what he was saying, very similar to real life. Like how they view the world and how they view their position, and how they're not meant to, I forget what exact words he said, like they're not meant to like be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Like,
like they're doing it for like the law or whatever. Like, they're not trying to catch bad guys. Like, they're trying to inflict justice or just like whatever,
which is
whatever
crazy.
He said. I know, right?
Your job is to protect and serve.
Did you forget that?
Yeah, that's why you did.
On the dead man. So crazy. But secondly, this Spider-Man is so much more talkative and playful. Like,
yes, which goes on what you were saying earlier. Like, Peter's personality in this is
really different.
Very different. Like, he's still, I don't want to say he's a shy kid. I feel like he's just more to himself.
Yeah, more reserved.
Reserved and introverted.
But like,
than,
he
like,
knows
shy
himself.
And scared.
Yeah, like, he knows himself. He knows who he is. Like, he stands up to Flash. He doesn't just like get bullied by Flash. Like, yeah, he may get punched on, but like, he
Flash.
You know, you gotta.
We should touch on his character too.
I know, right? He was kind of interesting in this one. He gave me kind of like bisexual vibes.
That's not not where I was going.
That's the kind of vibes.
But okay.
Anyway, though, in that carjacking scene, going back to that just for a second.
Okay.
Just for a second. The police literally shot at Spider-Man, and they were also shooting at the victim, the quote-unquote victim that was spiderwebbed to the wall. Like, they're shooting at Spider-Man. Spider-Man flips out the way. They could have easily shot that man. Like, they did not care that much about the car thief.
Yeah, they see them both as criminals.
But, like, he wasn't doing nothing. He is strapped to the wall. And
he was trying to steal that car!
But if their whole thing is that Spider-Man is harassing citizens, why would they shoot at the citizen that he is quote-unquote harassing?
Because he's a criminal still. They know. Girl.
Whatever.
They know.
So.
They know.
While, they're at dinner, you know, old homeboy is getting fired. Dr. Connor, he's getting fired. And he goes right into like human trials on himself. And it's like, okay, I understand and see that you are desperate for your job, but like, you literally just were telling them, like, the whole reason you lost your job is because, like, no, I'm not gonna do human testing, and like, kids not ready for that yet. And then you just go ahead and do it anyway. Like, you knew.
But it's like desperate for his job, but also this trauma from being bullied as a kid and not having this arm and the desire and want to have, like, to be whole, to be perfect, that he says towards the end.
Yeah, the biggest thing that I feel like triggered him was when the other Dr. Man, Dr. Rotha, when Dr. Rotha was like, yeah, forget about that arm. He was like, wait, my arm! No, my arm! Goodness gracious. And then just to touch a little bit back on what you said about their scenes in between Gwen and Peter, like how they're all hot and spicy, bro. Like, their freaking roof scene was so dramatic. It was so freaking dramatic.
Well, I can't. Oh, fine. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. Anyways, no, but like, baby girl, like, stop. Like, come on. Like, I want to tell you, but like,
Hey, please. Spiderweb. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What? I can't believe. Shut up.
And then Gwen, your father wants you downstairs
right now.
Gwen, now.
And then she looks back. Gone.
I think we just recreated that scene perfectly. Like, were you just watching the film or not? Like, I think you were. Like, we might get copyrighted. Like, I don't know.
You are so silly. But okay, they get to the bridge and, crisis is averting. Crisis is happening. We are in a crisis. And
stays in the car.
Once again, there's stupidity. Why did he stay in the car? Because he sees things that's happening.
Everyone else is running. Yeah. And then he kicks the car that's on the railing. Like, why don't you get in the front seat? Like, I don't.
Literally. And then also, we're like, parents leaving their child once again. How the kid in the car and you out the car? And I'm like, okay, let me just give him let me just give him a chance. Maybe, perhaps, he was trying to get his son out the car. Like, maybe he got out the car and then went to
the car, like
And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to give him that because, like,
but why was that car the only car that caught on fire?
Because it was tilting this way and the gas was leaking out. I don't know if you saw, but like they showed a scene, like a little clip where there was liquid dripping from the back of the car towards the front, and it was going towards where
I thought the liquid was on the web.
I don't remember, but either way, it's just dripped down the side of the car.
Okay.
And I assumed that it was gasoline, and yeah, it went into the front and combust.
Dr. Rotha was just hanging down in the car next door. Like, Peter just left him there.
Just do. That's it. Y'all can figure out the rest. Craziness.
And Peter was just telling everybody his little secret. See, I'm just a guy. Calm down.
For real.
Put it on.
And I was just like, wow, like that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, dang, he told Gwen right away. He was like, no, there's something I got to tell you. Like, bitch, I gotta tell you this.
I will say, unless I missed it, his Ben does not explicitly say the words, with great power comes great responsibility. He says something around the same lines.
Yeah.
However, Aunt May says, I wrote it down, she says a quote which correlates to Peter telling everybody his dirty little secret.
Oh, yes. Secrets have a price.
Yes.
Like, secrets aren't free, not now or not ever.
Yeah. And he took that to heart.
He sure did.
Except for Aunt May, he told everybody but her.
He really did. I don't understand why he didn't.
Poor little naive May. Oh yeah, secrets have a cost. They're not for free.
Not now, not ever.
Which I feel like if this Spider-Man's, like, with great responsibility comes with great responsibility.
With great power. Yes.
With great power comes great responsibility. And I feel like that could have been a cool Universal thing to have, like, the guardian figure who's still there give this character a powerful quote that they, like, hold with them. So, yeah.
Okay. So, what I wanted to mention moving forward is that another great example of the butterfly effect is with the lizard. Like, there would be no lizard without Peter, and then there will also be no, like, Peter Parker situation finding that out without Dr. Connors. Like, Dr. Connors was somehow involved in the death of his parents. That led to Peter becoming who Peter was. Peter then figured out the equation, gave it to Dr. Connors. Dr. Connors became the lizard.
Is that his name? Just the lizard?
Yeah, his name is just, like, Lizard. It was nothing special. He wasn't around long enough causing that much terror for people to, like, give him a name. He showed up once on the Brooklyn Bridge, and then he showed up again.
Like Godzilla. Yes, so.
Oh, this ain't Tokyo. Maybe you should take a trip to Tokyo.
No, for real. He's like, do you think I'm the mayor of Tokyo? Anyway, so when
so he could be the mayor of Tokyo because it's a city,
right? Sure.
Because the president's for countries.
Whatever they say.
That's how it works. At least for us. Anyways.
Exactly. No, but seriously though, like you had said earlier when you were mocking the sergeant, when he's like, "Yeah, we're calling out the arrest for for Spider-Man, this, that, and the third." They just wanted someone to blame because, like, obviously the Lizard was the one throwing cars off the Brooklyn Bridge, and Spider-Man is the one saving the cars. Why are you putting out an arrest for Spider-Man?
That made no
like you just literally,
especially like at the end, like when the Lizard was climbing up the building, stuff like that. Why are you all hunting down Spider-Man right now?
Bro,
like, there's not a giant lizard climbing up this huge building.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I wrote down. I'm just like, you guys are putting all of this
focusing on the wrong thing
towards Spider-Man, and it's like you need to be doing that towards the Lizard, who's about to start spraying biological
warfare. Who's gonna turn y'all into lizards?
Like, unless that's what y'all want.
You want to be a lizard?
It's seeming like that's what y'all want. And like, when he goes to speak with him, his personal affiliation was kind of like keeping him blind to the truth about the Lizard. He listened to him. It didn't really say if they went any further with that information.
It was just like, give me a research thing on Dr. Connors.
Yeah, like, whatever. But when Peter went to go find proof for himself, why would he bring his camera that had like his first and last name?
Yeah.
Yes, with the Spider.
But like, he probably expected to bring the camera with him.
I know that he expected to bring the camera back, but it's
probably
like,
his only camera.
I know, but still, he could have like taken that off because like you are here with your webs and the camera, like camera with human-sized webs.
With
no
the
matter who
on.
found it, it's gonna be human-sized webs, Peter Parker, you're Spider-Man. Either way, blown, covered. So yeah, but I just like, when I look at any of his decisions and I'm just like, WTF Peter Parker, I remember like, he's a 17-year-old kid. Like, he's a 17-year-old kid.
I will say though, I liked how this movie put emphasis on spider similarities. Like making the web, and like when he was fighting Dr. Connors in the school, only took me a lap. But yeah, he was like circling him like a literal spider. And also Andrew was real creative with all the poses and like action things he was doing up in that film. Like, he was having a blast.
Yeah.
Like, they were real creative with Spider-Man.
I think that they were mentioning, I feel like I remember that he had some kind of like a aerobics training for this movie. Like, he was getting flexy for this movie. Like,
that's what she
said. Anyway, bro, after that fight though, and he went to Gwen to seek asylum, why was she rubbing his wounds with a dry towel?
This was after the school fight?
No, this is after the sewer fight.
The sewer fight?
Yes.
Okay.
And he had the scar on his chest.
I'll be honest, that's not what I was paying attention to.
I understand, but still, literally drying his wounds off with a dry towel. I'm like, you.
Well, she couldn't leave her room because her daddy was out there talking about, you want Coco?
Still.
And she trying to hide the fact. What's so wrong with Coco? Like, she was trying to hide the fact that she wanted hot cocoa.
No, I thought that scene was so strange. I can't even have anything to say. Like, I don't have any kind of excuse to give her any benefit of the doubt. I'm just like, yeah.
I wanted to live in a gingerbread house? No, a few days ago.
Like a chocolate house, a house of chocolate.
Yeah.
Like a house of chocolate. Whatever. Like, it's okay, girl. But the next thing that we cut over to is Dr. Connor speaking to himself in the sewers.
That man is crazy. And I'm like, yeah, it's definitely giving.
He hears voices.
There's an alter ego inside of his head that has taken over. Like, the serum put in his body has personified itself inside of himself as something completely different, as his like deepest, darkest desires, and enacting them in a violent way. Well, in like a no consequences kind of way. It's like, the only consequence I want is what.
Not to cure everyone, but to make everyone perfect.
To make them mutants.
Yeah, I did like how they showed that though, like the voiceover head, and then like him like freak tweaking, crashing out. I know what the hot new lingo is.
You're crazy.
I know what the kids say. I'm a cool mom.
Anyway, and then of course we had Stan in the library. And I hope he enjoyed his lunch, whatever he was about to go eat on. He grabbed that little brown bag and he walked
scooted away, and then Peter flew across the room.
Literally, he prevented a table from him and everything.
Mm-hmm. Imagine a squish Stan.
Okay, but as we were progressing on and we finally got to like the big juicy climax here where the fight's about to happen, why was Peter on the phone talking about that's an order? Who are you?
I will say the way Peter got mad with Gwen about her trying to like interject herself is the same way I got mad at Gwen, because why? Oh, what are you gonna do? Like, why are you hitting this huge lizard with a chair or something? Like, he turned around and now what? Like the whole Terra pool.
Him a little bit of time to get himself together and help. Yeah.
No, but I like the Terra pool that we see between like him and Gwen, like him continuously trying to protect her, and her being like, "No, like I'm coming with you. Like, what are you talking about? Like, yes, Peter, tell her but to go home. Like, swing her the other way." Especially in the second movie, in the scene when they're outside and he's like, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Keep going though.
Right before they go into the one building where the Electro Man is, he's trying to like pull her. We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
But yeah, I like how they represent how much he does care about Gwen, and how much he's like, no girl, like I told you the secret so like we could be cool, not for you to be out here.
Not for you to be in here.
Not for you to be in here is what she said. Direct quote. But Gwen is like one of the first female main characters that I like, because she's not like this prissy little blonde chick who's like ditzy and like is supposed to be just sexual eye candy for the audience and like the main character. Like, she has a brain, she knows what the heck she's doing. Like, I also think, because whenever I watch the actress and her roles, they're pretty similar. So I'm finishing my quote. I feel like the actress puts a lot of herself into her roles, which you can definitely see, which I feel like,
yeah, I really like that about her,
brought up more likeness to Gwen's character.
Yeah, like this was a really good Spider-Man movie. Like,
I'm telling you,
I love this movie.
Unpopular opinion, it's better than Tobey's.
Like, this was a really good movie. Like, the plot of it all, like the pace of it, even though it was a long movie, it was a good movie. No, what I think is so cute about this movie, that scene when they're like organizing the cranes for Spider-Man to get away, and like his leg is shot. He saved
my son once,
and he got all the people together. I'm just like, wow, bro, like,
it's a pure.
You guys are gonna make me emotional. That's so beautiful.
It's a like really good example of. I feel like in the Spider movies in particular, the sense of community is very strong with like the background New York people. Like, they love Spider-Man and they love coming together as a community to help Spider-Man. That is like the emphasis between all of the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, I think that's really precious. It's crazy.
But like in the MCU, F those other characters that be in New York. Just Spider-Man.
Yeah.
There's not like 15 other characters that be saving us every day.
Nope. Because they not the same as Spider-Man.
You're right, because Doctor Strange sucks.
And I feel like, yeah, it's not the same with those because, like, with everyone else, their faces are exposed. Like, I feel like the whole, you know, Spider-Man is just an everyday guy.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Exactly. That's like
the small battles.
To be all in your face. Exactly. So there's like, I don't know. I feel like also, yeah, they may paint New York to have these bad, scary people around, but then like also paint New Yorkers to be very proud. And it's like, I am proud to be a New Yorker. I am proud to support what New York has created. So like
the dualities.
I only got a couple things here. One, Gwen was worried about the wrong daddy. Okay, she's like, make sure that Peter stays okay whole time.
He did.
Daddy is dead. He did make sure he was okay.
Biological daddy is dead.
And like,
he did. He kept his word. You know who doesn't keep his word?
I was just about to say that. Like,
Peter.
He is a little slime
karma.
Ball.
That's why in the second movie, what happened.
Literally. And then also, I wanted to say, it's like, he was not practicing at all on like how to save people better, because like the way he saved little boy when the car was falling, like he also snapped.
I feel like that's like foreshadowing.
Me too. You heard? So touching back onto the death of Peter's parents, because we're at the end of the movie now. Okay, the end credit scene.
Oh
yeah.
Okay.
Do you have anything else to say about the end of the movie?
Her daddy did. He was like, "Hey, twin."
He didn't say, "Hey, twin." He actually was crying. It was just like, I can't do this. Like, do you hear it in my voice? I cannot do this.
I mean, but the fact that
subliminals, are you hearing me?
She knew that her daddy made him promise to stay away from her, and she was still mad. Like, and she gave him this whole speech of being scared that her dad was a cop and being scared that he would never come home again. Like, I feel like she should know why her dad did what he did. I mean, and like, you're still pissed off?
Because she said, I'm worried about him coming back home. I'm not worried about me coming back home. I'm trying to be
boot up.
Exactly.
Boot up.
Yeah, right. So, anyway,
that was
end credit scene. The man in the shadow.
That was him.
Who was who?
Dr. Connors.
That was not Dr. Connors in the shadow talking to Dr. Connors.
Yes, it was. It was himself. This is my theory. This is my theory. Hear me out.
Hear me out.
Hear me out.
I'm hearing you.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
I'm hearing.
Hear me out. So, like, the first zoom in we see is the scales still on the back of his neck, meaning the cure did not work completely. Meaning, you already shaking your head at me?
No, I'm because the thing didn't work completely. And
yeah,
I'm like,
okay.
So didn't.
Meaning, he's crazy. Meaning, in my theory, he's like, maybe hallucination, or maybe he's talking to himself like, don't go after Peter, like, he saved us, yada yada yada. Like, why would he be talking to someone else? Also, though, I will say one thing with these movies, the end credit scenes don't have a lot of continuity with the next movie. Because what does the scene have to do with The Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Nothing. Like, literally nothing at all.
Absolutely. And then the end credit scene in Spider-Man 2, where's the third movie? Non-existent.
And I am just, like, really curious as to what if that isn't him being crazy, though? Like, what if that is someone in there? And see, it got my mind messed up just so slightly, because I'm just like thinking, I'm getting it confused with like the Batman DC universe, like Penguin. For some reason, I kept like, I'm like, that could be Penguin or something. But what if that could be Kingpin?
It would would make more sense if they put it in the next movie.
It would have.
Like, if there was some guy who, like, wanted that man to fall into the pit of eels and yada, 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 like, it would make more sense for it to be some random guy, be like, no, and then him be like, no, you can't go after Peter. Or if it was, like, Dr. Rotha, or if it was, like, a different man that works for Norman, like, that would make sense.
It was something completely random and different.
Yeah. That's why I think it's, like, just psycho.
But the reason that I
keep like getting up and like all passionate and stuff. I'm sorry. I gotta be nonchalant. I'm working on it. I don't know how y'all nonchalant mother effers do it, because I can't.
But no, like, the reason that I am leaning more so towards that this is a different party is that, like, they love leaving things unresolved. We haven't found the Ben killer. We don't know why Peter
unresolved for 12 years.
Unresolved and unresolved some more. Dang, 12 years. You right.
And like, they didn't even resolve it in No Way Home.
But that was it. That was The Amazing Spider-Man 2012, guys.
Period. Let me see if you missed something. Oh, I wanted to quickly touch on Flash's character.
Yes.
Yeah, like how in the beginning he was this big bad bully, and then his uncle, I'll say his grandpa died. His uncle died, and he was like, Peter, no, like, I'm sorry, like, I know what you're going through.
It feel good to pin me up against the wall, don't it? See, that's why I'm saying bisexual. Yes, he's like, it feel good to.
Right. Stop.
You can be the dominant this time around.
That man is fine though.
See, you want it to happen. You think Andrew's fine. You think he's fine. It's just,
anyways,
a fine sandwich.
Anyways, he was like, I know what you're going through. Like, this sympathetic side to Flash that we don't see at all in Tobey's. Yes, we see the loving of Spider-Man and Tom's though, but like, like, not this sort of sympathy. And like, after that,
but like, nothing towards Peter Parker.
Yeah,
it got dedicated towards Peter Parker.
Yeah, and then after that, he's always nice to Peter. Like, whatever is seen at the end, like, whatever the heck was changed. And
he said, like, "Hey, you doing better. Yeah, you looking like a real man. All that bullying paid off, didn't it? You welcome."
I also find interesting though, like, when Gwen stepped in the beginning in the fight, and he backed down right away. Yeah, I was like, okay, is she tutoring him?
He got mommy issues, obviously. And Gwen is his substitute mommy, not really helping him study, giving him that motherly love.
But yeah, I liked his Flash character.
Me too.
I like his, and I like Tom's.
Tom's is cool.
I like just the tug and pull and be like, I love Spider-Man, but you, Peter, you suck.
Yeah, that's
what I like. Yeah.
He was like, oh yeah, the shirt. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The girls like it. Sure, Flash.
Okay, a quick little rapid fire before we wrap this up.
A few things that I forgot. Se me olvidó.
Usually, and I feel like I have to speak fast. Usually, in Marvel movies, whenever the cops and stuff. Okay, brother.
Okay, back on track.
Usually in Marvel movies, when they use like guns and stuff, they never work. Like, they're shooting at these big, random, beastie things, and the bullets bounce right off. But you see, in this one, they do work for a split second.
He died just a little bit.
I thought
it was fake dying.
Me too. But when you saw the scars and stuff like that, they actually.
And then he like woke up again. He was like, ah! Take this green fog.
Yes.
A continuity between all the
movies, the Daily Bugle. However, in this one, we don't. Do we ever see him?
No, not the man.
Okay, in this one, we don't see the man character who they use all the time, but we do see on the newspaper, Daily Bugle.
And it wasn't talking mess about Spider-Man. It was only talking about the biological
because
warfare.
That man wasn't in charge.
Perhaps.
Creating a false narrative.
Dun, dun, dun.
Next. What else did I say? I said all this out loud. You should have been paying attention.
I was paying attention, but
there's a continuity between them and a boxing arena match or whatever. I forget why he fell into the boxing match.
Because he was running away from the girl who had snitched. He was running away from all of those people. And this
is how he got his costume idea.
Yeah.
Okay. However, with the Spider-Man, this is how
like he was inspired to make a costume to go wrestling to make the money. So both ways, wrestling influenced them to make the costume.
And I'm pretty sure Gwen's the one who gave him Spider-Man nickname, because I don't hear it any other time before that.
Well, are you talking about when they were flirting, when they were kissing?
I don't know. I just remember the first time Spider-Man was said, I heard it was from Gwen.
Well, I remember him announcing himself as Spider-Man when he saved the kid, and the dad was like, "Who are you?" He was like, "Spider-Man." And I remember,
but that was after.
I just don't remember Gwen calling him Spider-Man. Yeah, okay. Like I was gonna say that I remember her calling him Bug Boy when they were playing around. But yeah,
playing around.
Anyway, though, yeah. Now that was Spider-Man.
Thank you for our rapid spitfire.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to our rapid spitfire.
Oh yeah, thumbs up. Anyway, so. Thank you for joining us for this episode. Oh my goodness. I hope you enjoyed. Wait a second. We have to rate it.
JK!
What do you rate this movie?
Out of 6 Infinity Stones? Probably 5.
I was gonna say
highest all season. 5 Infinity Stones, because that's my man.
So love him down
bad.
You know, honestly, I was thinking before that just a solid 5. Because, like, it's good. I like it.
It's good.
It's a good movie.
Unpopular opinion, it's better than the first one.
Like, yeah, like, I would rewatch this one more than I would rewatch the first one. So, yeah, definitely 5.
And like we said last time, I feel like the attachment to the first one is the nostalgia. I don't know why people back in the day hated the Amazing Spider-Man.
I don't know either. They just wanted to. Maybe because this is not Tobey.
That's not what I was going to say.
What were you going to say?
I would say maybe because this is the time where MCU is putting out movies. Like, they have their own separate things. So maybe they're not focused on, like, a completely separate Spider-Man that has nothing to do with, like, these main MCU movies.
Yeah, maybe they were just mad at that.
Yeah. Or maybe they didn't like Andrew for some reason.
I don't know. But it was so good.
Yeah.
The lame. Anyway, though, yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening on Spotify. If you're on Spotify and watching,
if you're not listening on Spotify and you're watching on YouTube, go to Spotify and play it in the background while you're washing the dishes or something like that.
Or doing crafts. That's what was suggested last time. I literally was watching our last episode while I was making the crown for Meadow.
Period.
You're like, yeah, watch this while you're making crafts. I'm like, period.
And then go and rate the podcast.
Please do.
5 stars. Because why wouldn't you give it 5 stars?
Please give us your honest feedback. Thank you. We really
5 stars.
And also like this episode here on YouTube. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you would rate this movie. Let us know like what kind of differences you spotted out in between the 2 Spider-Mans that we didn't point out here in this episode. Our socials will be down below. You know, our fit checks will be on TikTok. What else are we missing? What is going to be down below?
I don't know.
Our hopes and our dreams. And
our like button, that subscribe button.
Thank you so much.
Everything's down there. Go ahead and scroll. Scroll right now. What are you doing? You can still hear us. Scroll right now.
Thanks, guys. See you later.